What's going on, everyone? Matic here, and in this week's video we're going to work on let's figure this out. Okay, so essentially what we're working on is a basic 1-2 punch. We're going to start from making sure of what we should be doing and not doing, and gradually build up doing certain drills that help make it more smooth and feel more natural. Okay, so essentially what is a 1-2 punch? It's very simple. It's doing one punch, one after another. So basically, we all know that basically punching is just taking your arm from point A to point B. And what most people usually wind up doing is if they want to throw 2 punches, at least when they're first starting out, they will go one, go out, and then come in, and then punch out with the second hand, and then come in. Over 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's technically fine when you're first starting out, and that's a simple drill that you can do already. Is you're already just working one hand, getting used to turning hips, turning body, boom. After you punch the other one. Left, right. Problem with that is when you start adding it to fighting, going out and then in, and then trying to punch again is too much time in a fight. So we want to break that time down, and so that when one hand goes out, the other one comes back. And from here, you can just chain punches over and over if you have to. But we have to get the nice basic form first. So first thing that we're mainly going to do is with all of our techniques, we always want to make sure that our hips and shoulders stay in line. So what I want you to do first is I want you to put your feet side by side, about hip, shoulder width, doesn't matter. From here, making sure everything turns together, not your head, but your hips and shoulders. And all I want you to do is just turn your body. Make sure your head's not going side to side, forward, back, or up and down. Just from here. Make sure everything stays nice and flat. If you have to use a mirror, you can. Or you can get it straight this way. Everything's turning as one. Then from here, take one hand, doesn't matter which one, throw punch and back, boom, boom. You can go ahead and do this, or you should already be doing this, just learning on how to throw a very simple punch. Okay, from here, I'm going to throw the other one. Notice that I never stopped or changed my twisting. I'm twisting, boom, twisting. I'm going to throw 2, boom, 2, boom. My body never changes. Now I start throwing both punches. Nothing has changed here. The only thing that's changed is I'm now punch, 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 punch. Not punch and retract, and then punch and retract. I never stop moving. Okay? So basically, as one hand goes out, or a push, the opposite hand comes back, or it's a pull. If you go back and look at a previous video I did, I explained on what the concept of a push and pull is and how good it is for the body. There's a push and pull in every move that we do. You just kind of have to find out where it is. And that's all I'm doing. I'm doing a push and a pull. Punching arm is doing the push, retracting arm is doing the pull. And that's all I'm doing. Pulling and pushing. Pull, push, pull, push, pull, push. Back and forth. And from here, all I really have to do to get further used to it is I'm just going to stagger my stance a little bit. Nothing really big. And from here, I'm just going to twist. And first go back to just twisting my body. Make sure everything's staying nice together. Nothing's moving that doesn't need to. And I can throw my front hand, just be a jab, boom, boom, add my back hand, nothing's changed, I'm just using the opposite arm. Then I start putting them together, boom, 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 boom. Okay? Again, make sure I'm not going forward, back, side to side, up and down. everything just twists. Make sure my spine's nice and straight. Don't crunch down on yourself. Just stay right here. Then as I get more used to this, I can gradually build my stance up to what it should be. And then from here, I'm just twisting. Just twisting. But what you want to make sure of, though, is when you're throwing this backhand, if you remember when we did a reverse punch video, that when I throw this backhand, that my front leg doesn't shift. I do not want this leg to shift. I want to stay right here. Boom, 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 boom. Again, mainly it acts as a guard coming up our center, but it also protects us from overturning and our power leaking out to the outside. So this inward thigh has to stay here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay? And nothing changes. Really don't want this knee to move. Your back foot, so if you go back to the reverse punch video and you remember that I mainly want you to take this back knee and drop it, then you start adding that. Boom. Making sure that this front knee doesn't do too much wobbling. Definitely no side-to-side action. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so now that we kind of figured out on how to, based on what we want to keep moving as we do our punches, we're going to add a little bit of feet work stuff to this now. So if you go back to our very first video, where I basically show you on how to get your basic fighting stance. Back heel to front toe, knees bent, feet facing the same direction, front leg in, stuff like that. And in that video, I gave you some stepping drills and kind of how to change feet and all that stuff. So we're going to do those same footwork drills, but now we're going to do the entire thing as we're still twisting and doing our 1-2 punches. So first is we have to be able to step out, right? So we have to be able to step out into our fighting stance. So as I step out with my right leg, my right hand is going to go forward. So that's going to be my attacking hand. Basically, I'm coming out, 1. Coming straight off the line or straight towards my opponent, whichever one, and I'm just going to punch. So this is my jab, this is my 1-2. Right after that, I'm going to throw my second one. Notice that as soon as I start to pull this hand back, 1, and then I'm already twisted. So when I step out, all I'm going to do is just 1, 2. All right, 1, 2. 1, 2. So as I'm stepping out, I'm not preparing myself to throw the second punch. You really want to make sure you don't do that. Don't cheat yourself. Make sure you're turning this back leg. This back leg is turning as I'm stepping out to throw my jab. Okay? This has to turn. I have to give this jab power. It has a purpose. The purpose is to hit and to cause damage. How much damage is my decision. So I have to throw this first punch out with intent. So 1, then punch. So I'm here just stepping out, turning my back leg out, and then down. So if you get this, if this part gets simple, that you can twist your body and you want to start adding power, think about your back leg. So I'm going to twist my leg out, boom, and then twist my leg down. And from there, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Then to the other side, 1, 2. The left side, if you're right-handed, the left side will be a little bit easier. 1, 2. 1, 2. Just come up and it goes straight and then right into my second punch. Same exact thing if we're going backwards. If we're going backwards, I'm going to step back with my left foot as I punch. Stepping back as I punch. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. This is so you get surprised by your opponent and you just go to step backwards. Front hand can be used to fend them off or to block or do something else. And then you come in with your second hand. So here's 1, 2. And then other foot, 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And all you're really doing is just stepping forward and stepping back while just doing a 1-2 punch. So what about when we want to switch feet? Well, that's simple. Put one foot forward, and my left forward. So from here, I'm going to step back. From here, throwing my backhand first. 1, since I'm already turning this way. Boom. Boom. Already turning, throwing this hand that would have more power. Then I'm going to step forward and throw my second hand. So right hand, left hand. Or, if you want to think about it, backhand, new backhand. Backhand, new backhand. Backhand, new backhand. Okay, so what if I want to go forward? Or switch my feet forward this way? From there, it's going to be the opposite. As this leg comes up, boom, boom, boom. And then as I step back, I'm going to punch with the other hand. All right, so my back leg comes up, and I'm going to punch with my front hand. Boom, boom. If I make this big, you can kind of already see me twisting, boom. Then as I twist back, boom, I'm going to punch out with my right hand. So it's basically a jab, 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 jab. While the other one is more of a reverse, 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 reverse. Okay. For those, kind of really take your time on getting the footwork correct. Because it can be very easy to mess up, or you just like, it's not working and I'm not going to do it. If that's too complicated for you, which trust me, it is, then all you gotta do is just go back to this. 1, 2, 1, 2. And then just switch feet. Switch feet. Switch feet. Switch feet. All you gotta do is just turn your body. That's all it is. You can do this walking around in your kitchen, reaching to grab something, opening a drawer, grab the thing. Open a drawer, grab the thing. You can use this simple push and pull, 1-2 punch, very easily in pretty much any situation. Just gotta figure out how. All right, so that's on how we work on 1-2 or consecutive punches. I'm Mac, and I'll see you guys next time. Yo!